Understand this. Understand this.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Finesse Mitchell one more again. Look, let me tell you something. It's not every day I ask somebody to come on this podcast. But last week, Genie Deez, we were talking about winners and losers.
That's right. That's right.
Of COVID-19 quarantine. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When I put this brother in the same lane as D Nice,
Right.
I am going to let him know, peer to peer, Mr. Affion Crocket is winning COVID right now.
Everybody over there in the back.
Yes.
Popping.
Yes. And when I say the man is winning COVID, I mean like he did not let his brain go idle. He did not disappear. I, for one, am one of those people that's like, the gram is boring right now. Like,
Right.
what is people doing? And then I forget, I'm an entertainer.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I forgot, like, if
Right.
it's boring, do something.
Exactly.
One person who does not have that problem, one multi-talented brother who's actually, I call one of the good guys in the business, does not have that problem. Because if you haven't been to a club quarantine or you haven't been to a versus battle, shout out to Timberland and Swiss, my man usually does the most hilarious wrap-ups after each versus battle. The Teddy Riley babyface, it was more entertaining than the Teddy Riley babyface.
Right. It was that epic.
Afion, first of all, bro, I mean, North Carolina, right?
Yep.
All right.
Vietnam.
You moved out to L.A. when?
February 98.
98. I got out here in 99.
Mm-hmm.
99.
Same time.
Bro, I did Comic View and thought I was ready. That was my story.
Everybody that did Comic View thought they was ready.
What was your I'm moving to L.A. moment?
It wasn't anything that I specifically did, right? Because before moving to LA, my only idea of LA was earthquakes, Crips and Bloods. So in my mind, I was like, I ain't never going out that motherfucker. Like, you either gonna get shot or shook the fuck up. And as soon as you
from somebody from the South. I'm from Georgia. I look at it the same way. I'm like, they crazy out there.
But
It's a different type of crazy.
But let me tell you what did it. This is random fucking fact. The fat dude that played Sam's and Lean On Me, I forget his name in Juice,
Yeah.
but he was on the Wayans Brothers show.
Mr. Clark, I'm just trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam's.
Sam's.
You know the school song? Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
He lived in North Carolina and he was rapping at one point. And me and my crew danced for him for like 2 or 3 shows. So met him, did the dance thing. By that time I had met Pierre and a bunch of different comedians that would come through the Comedy Zone in Charlotte. So one day I'm in the theater, just on a matinee. I'm like, I'm gonna go see How to Be a Player. I'm sitting in the theater, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And it dawns on me. I say, wait, I danced for this dude. I know him. I met Pierre. These niggas is on the screen right now.
Damn.
While I'm sitting in Fayetteville, North Carolina. They're riding through Beverly Hills.
Wow.
And, Sunset. And I was like, oh, L.A. is also that.
Wow.
And it's also movies. I know these guys. If they got on the screen, I can get on the screen.
Right.
And in that theater, in that day, in that matinee, I said, I'm moving to L.A. Because people had already told me, you need to move to LA. Like when I was already doing stand up, I had already done Def Comedy Jam, but I had it in my mind that I was gonna do I'm gonna make it from here. I'm gonna go to Atlanta, and Atlanta's gonna be the thing.
Right.
First time I went to Atlanta, I didn't like it. I was like, nah, this ain't it.
Right.
It just reminded me of a bigger North Carolina or bigger Charlotte. And so, New York was always too fast paced. Love New York, but for me, it just was too fast paced for my personality and my lifestyle. So LA was calling me, and How to Be a Player ended up being the thing that I needed to see to say, pack your shit up and drive cross country.
Exactly.
That's a big motivator. Seeing your boys on the screen, like I can do that.
But and not even seeing them out there on Rosecrans. You seeing them riding through Beverly Hills, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. So that's just not in the movies. My boys are there.
Right.
Like I'm actually looking at them
in this comedy movie. You know, Bernie Mac was in it. Like it was just
right.
And then you compare talents. We all do it. We all say, wait a minute. Now he a good rapper, but
Yeah.
I rap, I dance,
Right,
I can
right.
tell jokes. Like everybody telling me I should go. And I know them. That's the most important part. Who do you know? Who you gonna call when you get out there? Because you just ain't gonna just show up and just be like, all right.
Yeah, but that part always fails.
The who
be
you
like,
gonna call?
Niggas be like, yo, call me when you get out here, man. Man.
I think it is. I think it is the sense.
And this is back when we had pages. In 90, we talking about 98.
you had to
I'm
go get a
paging
phone.
niggas.
You had to go get a quarter.
Nigga. Had to go get a quarter, but
You had to go get a. You had to
but zero callbacks.
zero callbacks.
Call
on
me
a
when you
page.
get out here. Shady.
L.A.
Oh, you actually out here now? Oh, if you do
That's
get a call,
that's what it is too. Oh, you did. Oh, you made it.
You're surprised? Yeah.
You here? So how long you here? Don't let a brother be like, oh, I moved. I'm here. You like, oh, because you get so much. Oh man, I'm here for like a week. Here for like 2 weeks. I'm here.
but when they know you really did it, you are immediately looked at as competition.
The craziest thing, we're all fighting for the same thing. We ought to be able to share that. It shouldn't be considered.
It ain't that.
Another
It
nigga.
ain't that.
But it's not
bro. It
presented
ain't.
It don't
that
have-
way.
It ain't about sharing. It's about spots. It's
Yeah.
about spots.
Well,
and
I'm saying there
opportunities.
shouldn't be spots. We shouldn't have to compete for. There shouldn't be an allocated amount of spots for black people. It should be much more diverse spectrum.
Yeah, but that's
Then you need 1,000 Tyler Perrys and Will
talking about-
Packers.
Yeah,
should be.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. What should be? Yeah.
should be, yeah. But you know the way that the game
People
is
are in the
set up.
streets right now talking about and
Exactly.
shouting about for what should be.
Exactly.
But the right now, not even the right now, the back then, which was worse than right now.
Right.
Do you feel like it's no? Yeah, it's definitely opened up a little bit more.
It's opened up. It's
Yeah.
opened up a little more. But
You still feel
We're
like it's that
still-
though. You still feel like it's 98,
I just
99.
reposted the clip of Viola Davis.
Yeah, that was
yesterday.
brilliant.
She said, "I got all of the awards. What the fuck else do you
Yeah.
want?" And I'm still not paid the same as Meryl Streep, but they want to call me, "Hey, you're the black Meryl Streep." Like there is
Wow.
still a long way to go.
A long way to go. A long way to go. Anthony Mackie's comment about Marvel. Did you read that? Saying this is my 7th Marvel. First of all, I respected the fact that he waited till film 7 to start popping off, because that's a gangster
very
move.
smart move.
That's a very gangster
Keep
move.
your food.
That's a gangster move because, first of all, you 7 deep, and they probably positioned you to have a bigger role now that they got rid of Captain America or something. I think the
Right.
last movie was You Took the Shield or something. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
But the point is that, you know, he didn't realize how bad it was, or
What was
the
the
actual.
comment?
The comment was, you know, to do 7 Marvel films, everybody is white. Like everybody in the makeup trailer, all the way
Right.
up to the director, everybody is white. And he didn't think about it. He was just like, oh, you know, that's his culture of that's his work culture. He's so used to it.
Right.
But he said we going into like 5 films or something like that, and it's the same way. And it wasn't until we made Black Panther that everybody was black, and it made me
Wow.
think, oh, you could have done this a long time ago.
Right.
You know where the people are. You
Just
know,
don't wanna- yeah,
you know what I mean. You could have been integrating this whole franchise a long time ago. Just behind the camera was what
Right.
he was really talking
They
about.
Right.
hire their friends, bro.
Right.
That's what it is. They make sure the key makeup artist is the same. You know what I mean? Like they hire their friends.
Hollywood is a mini microcosm of the worldview of what people are fighting for. Just a little bit more inclusion, just a little bit more seats at the table, just so we can make it doper. Some people get so afraid of people either taking over or it's going to change completely. No, bro, we're going to make this thing doper. That's it.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the flavor.
Even when it just comes to relationships with your friends, white people who have black friends love being around them black friends a lot because it's just a more livelier interaction and it's authentic on both sides if it ain't no money involved.
Look, man, if you go to an Oscars after party and an Image Awards after party, which one you think is gonna be more lit?
Right.
I don't know. We're lit.
I think that's true historically speaking too, and I'm talking about 19th century America too. Black culture is richer; it emerges out of these oppressive situations. So
sure.
I totally understand.
For sure.
I just think
You think about funk, jazz, that's coming out of intense
Harlem Renaissance.
Absolutely, the Harlem Renaissance is in. If you think people don't have jobs now, during the Great Depression in the early decades of the 20th century, Black people had no resources. If we're just starting to see redlining, they were dealing with all kinds of stuff during the Depression and the Harlem Renaissance. But that's where we get our greatest art and jazz and that culture.
and poetry.
Out of that pressure boiling point. That's what emerged out of that.
Yeah.
So what are we going through now, you know?
If it's one thing we know we can do, we can be creative if we put our mind to it.
Absolutely.
The funniest people we know, the best ideas you ever heard, came from your hood. But them dudes had no intention of even finishing high school.
Yeah.
But you like, bro, if you just...
Bro, yeah, same page. I had a cousin borrow some money last time I went home, came back and was entrepreneurial and flipped the money. And like the skill set is there. Mm-hmm. It's just, are we going to apply that in the right direction? Are we going to funnel people into the right programs? To your point about nepotism in Hollywood, hiring friends. Absolutely. That's how it works. We got the skill set too. Just hire it. You know what I'm saying?
I love that what Ice Cube said about O'Shea Jackson Jr. He said,
right.
You goddamn right.
Absolutely.
I want him to benefit from being my son because everybody else do it.
Right.
Why the fuck not?
You don't say that about the Coppolas.
Why would you
or any other?
Why would somebody even call
Nicolas
that out?
Cage.
That's just a given in this business that you're gonna pass down whatever opportunity to your child.
Salute to
make
Keenan Ivory Wayans, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my, absolutely.
That is the biggest win. That is the biggest nepotism win on our side. Like that's a family of kings and queens right there in Hollywood.
Wow.
In business, because when you do get not your CW shot or your WB shot or even your Vice, you ain't on when he got his ABC shot.
Right.
And I sat up there and saw Craig Wayans and his son and Damon in the credits.
Yeah.
Everybody had
absolutely.
I bet your ABC was like, fuck, but the ratings are good.
Dwayne,
but I know they was,
pay you.
oh, no.
Yeah.
But the ratings are so good, you know.
It's the whole thing.
So what's the biggest thing right now as far as coming out of COVID? I feel like I know you in the lab. I know you got some great projects coming out because you've been way too creative. But what's the main thing after all this? I've had my manager call me and say, we need to bring ideas to the table and voice it to Hollywood, even though they probably heard them. But now let's strategize and move in this moment, which made me respect my dude more because he white, he Jewish. But he's like, I want to know what you feeling. You're right. Because he saw some videos and he's the fourth person that said, I had no idea. Because he just saw certain videos.
Wow.
He saw a video of a woman getting choked out. He saw the video of the dude getting beat with the sticks and rolling around and they screaming out, put your legs down.
Because he saw a video.
But he saw the video.
Yep.
He's like, oh.
Right.
So they're doing this. Now, he saw the videos on top of what he saw with George Floyd. He ain't never seen no shit like that ever. No, the world hasn't really seen that. To see somebody choked out for 9 minutes, almost 9 minutes. So, I definitely believe in, because something bothered me today, because I'm jumping in people's comments now on the ground, but Black Lives Matter is a Marxist movement, and I'm like, you know what, bro? History will tell what these organizations really are, but for you to comment in the moment and try to either throw some mud on it or shame on it, let me tell you something. You are the same, or maybe your uncle or your father was the same people who was like, yeah, Martin Luther King is a communist. So just shut the fuck up, bro. Because history would tell how great a movement is. All I know is very easy to comment and call it whatever you want to call it. But because that's what y'all used to doing. That's what people are used to doing. It's black people doing that. It's a lot of black people like, I don't know what they doing and why they doing it, and I think their movement is this, and they funded by this, and this is this type of group. And I'm like, at the end of the day, if one less person, not even if a person has to die, but just punish the cop when it is obvious wrongdoing. If that is one of the lanes that we want to see change and improvement in. And
you gotta understand, it's not about whether it looks like it's wrong or not. They are trained to kill black people. So to them, it's right. Mm-hmm. The behavior's right. Oh, you did what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. In their mind, kill another nigger. Mm-hmm. That's what they are supposed to do. They're slave catchers. Mm-hmm. So that's
North Carolina, Georgia, our ancestry. You know, basically, we know what the cops were there for. You know, that's just how we were raised in the South. You know, if it makes people feel uncomfortable about what they are right now, I always say this. I know a lot of people who their daddies played ball. And so these kids grew up watching their daddies play ball. I mean, like professional ball. And I know at least 80% of those kids tried to play professional ball, if not followed in their father's footsteps, and became even greater. But what you pass down to your kids and not even knowing it, they see you every day. If you're doing it right, they're going to want to do that. They're going to want to get in the rap game. They're going to want to own barbershops. They're going to want to. And when you pass that type of knowledge down, just the work ethic of a craft that they say, oh, man, my daddy was this, and I'm proud of him. They want to be that. So why are you trying to convince me people whose father was in the KKK and killing people back in the day, why are you trying to convince me that their offsprings are not of that mindset? I'm not saying all of them. There are a lot of people that's like, I'll never act that way. But a lot of people are like, I was raised this way.
Exactly.
Right.
They're taught that.
So when they get jobs like regular people, they still feel that way.
Absolutely.
I ain't never gone to Goodwill and saw the KKK uniform out there because somebody gave it away because they don't do that no more. They keep them shits. Mm-hmm. They're in the closet, but they keep them. And if you're raised that way, why don't you think these people are school teachers and police officers and politicians, possibly a commander-in-chief, possibly? You don't know. Why are you trying to act like it don't exist? So then when you see these cops who were fuck-ups in high school or the ones teased in high school or just whoever, but they get these cop jobs where they finally get some authority and they get to like unleash all that shit they went through back in the day.
Yeah, and beat somebody's ass.
Even if it's PTSD from their own family. Even if it's just the way they father treated them. They was abused. Man, they can't wait to get in the streets and fucking ruin somebody's day.
That's little dick mentality. That's little dick behavior.
That's
you know what I mean? Like
L.D.M.
when you get pussy, it changes things.
hey man.
Pussy changes things. And when your dick is nice and the women respond as such, you don't need to go beating on people to prove yourself. You know what I mean? There's a different energy in your step.
Hey man, you gonna run on that campaign. Pussy changes things.
We just found a soundbite for the episode. we just got merch.
Listen, you know by the way a dude acts. You know what I mean? We all, heterosexual men in this room, so we don't need to see another dude's dick to understand that he has a little dick because he's acting in a very overcompensating way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. These police officers all do that shit. Mm-hmm. They act in a very overcompensating way, which means they're not getting pussy because they probably don't have good dick or sizable dick to please these women. So you have to take that frustration out somewhere else.
If you get pulled over, ladies, and this motherfucker's an asshole, ask him to see his dick.
and them niggas do that shit all the time. I hear ladies saying, yeah, this nigga pulled me over talking about, I just want to get your phone number.
Damn, cause what are you supposed to say?
They got no game.
Yeah.
Get that nigga a fake number and keep pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Go home alive, but you know what I mean? Like, don't let the little dick nigga...
People wouldn't even believe that in 2020 we get pulled over just for somebody to walk up to the side of your car and be like, nice car. And you'd be like, huh? Yeah, license and registration. And while you're doing that, they are thinking about what you did, about what they're going to say you did.
You heard the audio clip from the North Carolina police, the one they found by accident because one's iPhone was recording, talking about, I can't wait for the race war. We're going to go out there and slaughter them. You heard that?
Yeah.
They only found it by accident. You don't think this shit?
But I was trying to explain to one of my white friends. I was like, just know this: they make up at least 65% of every police force.
I would say
I don't
more
care.
than
If,
that.
I don't care if it's 100 people on the police force. It's 65 of them in there.
What's the number?
85.
85% of the people.
The only time, let me say, the only time police officers have ever been nice to me is because they recognize me from my work, or there's a black one with them and he recognizes me, and so the rest of them is like they cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
Mm-hmm.
One time I got stopped. I was driving cross country, driving to L.A. I got stopped somewhere in like Oklahoma, and the one thing that saved me is when he's looking in my car, unlawful search.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in the middle of Oklahoma. I can't buck up and be doing no crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
He saw my nephew's photo on a keychain, and he was like, "Oh, is that your kid?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Nah, that's my nephew." My nephew was like 2 at the time, so something in that softened him a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I wasn't resisting. I wasn't popping off. So, God has had his hand on me when it comes to cops. I had an incident at an award show where this dude snatched me up by the collar and was like, "I'll throw you to the fucking ground if you resist me." And then it was right on the across the street from where the red carpet was, but there were fans like on the stands taking photos.
Mm-hmm.
They knew me from Wild 'N Out, and when they saw him, like this nigga legit had me here, arm locked up, and then the fans turned their camera, and one of them yelled at the cop, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is?" And everybody's camera turned, and he got shook in that moment, and he let me go, and then one of his superiors or partners came over and just pulled him aside, but it's only because we were at an award show full of cameras, and then they started yelling. Had we been
right
in the middle
right
of nowhere,
around the corner, because we was by the shrine, so if we was right around the corner, down Figueroa
especially
somewhere,
down there,
you would have been on that ground.
I'd have been on that ground.
Yep.
He wouldn't have said anything.
He ain't gonna grab you for too long before you shake a little bit or whatever. That's why I'm like, once you feel violated, it takes another skill set that the black man has to have to suppress that anger. Mm-hmm. But you also thinking, holy shit, is this? Am I going to go out? Is this the day? Thank you. Is this the fucking day? Because if I just, is it worth it? Because it was almost like one of my favorite movies, Cool Hand Luke, Paul Newman. Motherfuckers, it was worth 30 days in the hole to eat cake, he was doing that bullshit.
Right.
And that's, man, ATL ain't no joke either, as we see with Rashard Brooks and everything. But yeah, man, that's
what I meant about that feeling that you're describing, to have to shut it down and deal with this violation of
I have to outsmart him trying to think he's outsmarting me. I have to and by doing it, I have to
suppress your natural instinct,
bro.
Exactly.
So that's a shifty game.
85.
I said 65, but 80. Hey, I ain't gonna argue with
That's
no statistics.
I'll tell you why I say that, because as many people keep saying, "Oh, not all cops are bad." All right, well, all these good cops should be louder than fuck right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Say this. If someone was running around saying all comedians are rapists, they go on the road, they rape women, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
You think me, the non-rapist comedian, is going to be quiet during that moment and be like, yeah, whatever, they say that. Not all comedians are rapists. You know what I mean? And just let the narrative play out however, right? I'm going to be like, no, I'm not a rapist. And these niggas that are raping women should not be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
That's a great analogy.
These black cops or these good cops, they need to be loud as shit. There should be press conferences, marches for them.
Right.
They're like, we want to protect and serve. We really want to serve the community in the right way. These motherfuckers are sinking the ship.
Right.
Brilliant. Agreed.
At
Great
this point, it's 100% of these motherfuckers is right.
Brilliant, which means damn near 100% is rotten. Tag that, bro.
Because you can't claim that you don't know at this point.
No, you cannot.
We can't say that anymore. They've been saying that. That's been the defense for a long time. Is we didn't know.
And now
if we
you're
had cell
insulting
phones
my
in the
intelligence.
80s, what do you think we'd have there?
It was
If you grabbed like the emergence of this technology,
it was so good. I just want to repeat it. If you are the good cop and everybody's out there saying that y'all rape, ain't no way in hell I'm sitting at home quiet and letting my wife or my family or friends think I'm a rapist. That's crazy. That's like the perfect analogy. So why don't you want to snitch? You come to the community and be like, snitch all day to help you solve a crime. Why don't you want to snitch on police rapists? Maybe we need to change the word. Maybe rapist is a better word because it's certain words people hate. They really respond to. Mm-hmm. But maybe that will shake up the police culture to say, I don't want to be no rapist.
Child molester.
Child molester.
Yeah, that is.
I don't want to be no child molester.
Right.
That man's on fire. Child molester.
This is the shit I sit around and think about all the time. Like, you can't tell me, I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about not all cops are bad. Anytime somebody says that, I just look the other way. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I know people that are cops. Mm-hmm. But I still have to even hold them accountable. Be like, look, you quiet as fuck right now. Like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Are you doing something from the inside to change? Or like, if you want some covert shit and one day
wink at it.
Yeah, you
let us know.
Pull the cover off the bullshit, off the corruption, and the shit's just gonna come toppling down, then I'm be like, you the real MVP. Mm-hmm. You had a plan this whole time. You was quiet about it.
Right.
You ain't let nobody know what the move was. But now I see all these horrible cops is disintegrating and losing their shit. You the real MVP. My bad. I'll say my bad on that. But that's all I'm gonna give you. Like, you don't get no credit.
I will say this though. Whatever we can get and as much as we can get, I'ma applaud it because it did not stay the same even if it changed a little bit. And if homie want to step down, step down. Like if Anthony Mackie want to say something after 7 movies, hey, it's all strategic in one point. But when you do get the courage to step up and say something, man, that's why it pissed me off when people be like, oh, Black Lives Matter is a Marxist group. Shut up. Just shut up. Let's just wait and see what happens. Because at the end of the day, I'm so sick of shit staying the same. Tweak it a little bit. Tweak it a little bit for me.
I'll take it.
Tweak 10%. Tweak 20%. When my daughters get of age, have it be a little bit better for them. Because I can't push y'all. And it probably in that black circle, I'm gonna be like, oh, see, we always knew. In that mixed circle, I'm gonna be like, look, man, any start is as good as any. This shit is 100 years overdue. Can we get these certain people out and put certain people in who believe what they see when they see videotape? At least can we get that? You saw the videotape. You saw exactly what happened. Why are you trying to call it something else? Why are you asking about the victim's grades? Drug system. Why are you asking that? When you just saw murder.
Smoke screen like a motherfucker.
Did he pay his light bill? Did he ever? It's like, this was my point that I'm
victim shaming.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Victim shaming. Man, we got all type of merch coming out of this bitch.
You know how many other photos that there are to choose from, despite the one they show on the news? Oh, they find the worst looking. Absolutely.
Media definitely plays their role. The CNNs, the MSNBCs, they are in the lot of it too.
But I'll applaud it though. To your point, I've seen the change this go around. I was watching a lot of them protests every day and the riots and all that shit. Mm-hmm. And the news anchors were really good. There was a couple of them in the field that was trying to do the dumb shit, right?
Right.
Why are you looting? How is this helping the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the ones in the studio would be like, but hold on, they have nothing to do with the cause. The rest of these good people are out here marching because of the unfortunate death of George Floyd. That's a travesty. Like, they was staying on that narrative, and I was actually happy to see that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
It
was a couple.
It shifted. You got a loser of COVID?
A loser of
You got a
COVID?
loser of COVID. It could be any damn thing.
Racism.
Racism is losing right now.
Racism is the loser of COVID. Plain and simple.
Wasn't that the perfect storm of just like COVID hit, and then unfortunately we had this gruesome murder, but now people are like, I ain't got to be to work on Monday. Might as well go out in the street.
I was really moved by that. Like, the world came out.
The world came out. The world came out.
The world. Because apparently George Floyd just, accentuated and brought to light how police all over the world be on their bullshit. So everybody was out. And it's time. It's just fucking time.
It's time. And we got to convince the people who have never had a police encounter ever in life. We just got to let them know, consistently let them know that everybody ain't got the same experience with the police. Period. Ladies and gentlemen, give me that outro, Genie. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. My friend, Affion Crocket, that's Affion Crocket.
And Finesse Mitchell, everyone.
Man, we almost did a show together. We went into some great rooms, and I take it that I guess I learned in that experience that if you don't get called back, then they probably did not want that show. But the fact that we worked amazingly well together, man, I'm a huge fan. I'm looking forward to what's coming next. What is your Twitter and Instagram, my friend?
Likewise, kind sir, huge fan. Studied your craft, and you're definitely one of those soldiers, generals in the game, rather. But my social media at Affion Crocket, pretty much across the board.
People, if you haven't been entertained the way you want to be entertained, and you're looking for a guru, almost damn near probably a savant, the man can do it all. He's talented in every aspect of entertainment, not just comedy, entertainment. I saw the video with the knee on your neck that you reenacted for her. You know what I'm saying? It's just the creativity of what he chooses to put his spin on it, put his take on it, and share it with the world, man. It's just not comedy. The brother is that dude. Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope y'all enjoyed that episode of Understand This. Shout out to my main man, Genie Deez. And let me tell you something. It's only going to grow if you tell somebody about it. So don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. All right? New episode next week. Peace. Hey. Let me tell you how to reach us today. Let me tell you how to reach us today. I will need you to call that 818-814-6241. 814-6241. Yo, that's how you reach us. That's how you get through. Leave me a message. And we'll get back to you. I said, that's how you reach us. That's how you reach us. That's how you get through. Leave me a message. Hey, we'll get back to. Hey, we'll get back to you. Hey, we'll get back to. We're gonna get back to you. 818-814-6241.